Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the One Direction podcast, the podcast where we direction one you. My name is Jay,
And I'm Vilnius.
and we are very angry that Zayn did not tweet or post on Instagram about the 10-year anniversary of One Direction.
Good job, Zane. I'm not angry.
Wait, what? Vilnius, this is the One Direction podcast. How can you not be angry?
Look, I'm starting to feel, Jay, maybe One Direction just it isn't for me anymore. I can't connect with the music like I used to.
You obviously haven't seen the majesty of Act My Age, and You Don't Know You're Beautiful, and every single 2012 through 2014 One Direction hit.
Here's the thing. I was always more of a story of my life kind of guy.
No.
I don't know if we can keep doing this podcast, Jay.
Vilnius, you should have told me.
Why
didn't you tell me sooner? We're 400 episodes in, Vilnius.
I always wanted to let you know that Drag Me Down was my favorite One Direction song.
No.
But I could never bring myself
But we don't like the pop ones. We only like the ones that were kind of hidden on the albums. Listen, guys, I've learned today for the first time in my life that for the past 8 years, I've been living a lie. And Vilnius has been my chauffeur in the lie. Guys.
What was the chauffeur
Vilnius
bit?
just dies.
The chauffeur bit was
The whole point was like Vilnius was like driving the lie forward, but I just made it a disambiguation of what I was trying to say, so it became very confusing. But anyway, guys, welcome back to the Let Me Know podcast, the podcast where we let you know. I'm not going to introduce myself again because you don't deserve it.
I'm Vilnius.
So, I'm Vilnius. But welcome back to what is it, episode 17 maybe?
17, yeah.
It is a wonderful July 26th, 2020 evening.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently 7:32 p.m. We are cruising at 14,000 feet, and we will arrive at your destination in about 4 hours and 35 minutes.
Woo!
Ooh-wee. I don't know where we're going, but no, we're good. Vilnius, I was thinking, have you ever thought that maybe we should say something about our podcast to someone?
Nah. I mean, people know about it.
I think I'm gonna start posting on Instagram every time we upload.
Yeah?
I think eventually they'll, or not posting, but putting it on my story. I think eventually, maybe people will start coming in and be a little interested about it, especially if we wear them down and we're like, podcast, like week after week.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna email every single person that follows me. Email them. I'm gonna email them. They don't even have to give me their emails. I'll get it out to them and I'll DM them. Everything. Podcast.
Yeah. Continuing to talk about the podcast, I would like to thank you all for the kind words and the good feedback about the last episode.
Yeah. I think the last episode was fantastic. I didn't really get any feedback, but yeah. When did you get feedback, Vilnius?
Never. That was the joke.
Anyway. So this week, I guess we're returning to a little bit of a normal format, right?
Yes, today we'll be going back to the normal recommendation structure, and we'll be doing an album and a YouTube channel.
Yes. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. I'll start off with my album of choice. Today I will be recommending Fluent in Stroll by Big D and the Kids Table. So, Fluent in Stroll is I wouldn't go as far to say as that it's a great album even, but it's a pretty good album. It's a ska album, and each song is kind of like exactly the same as every other one on the album. They're very hard to differentiate from each other, although I don't mean that in a way that would take away from the album. I kind of like the way that they're all the same. They're all these kind of just cheesy, sort of generic love songs, but instead of a standard pop tune, they're kind of, they're ska. And the album, it's a bit long. It's 50 minutes long. I
Boy,
normally listen to it to go to bed. It's a very calming album, I would say. It doesn't really require much attention, and there's never anything too deep or anything that makes me think about things when I listen to it. It's just a good album to set me into a more pleasant mood. And yeah, I don't have too much to say about this one.
Philness, despite all that, do you have any recommendations?
Off of the album,
Yes.
specific songs, I guess would my favorites would be "A Kiss a Week," "Down Around Here," "Chin Up Boy," I," and "Not Fucking Around." Those would probably be my favorites off of the album.
All right. Wait, how many songs are on the album?
They're 14. I listed about 5.
It's pretty lengthy then.
Yeah, 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's hefty. Whoa, actually, now now that I'm looking at it, uh, the album I'm wrecking is longer than this, which I never noticed, but apparently it is.
Oh,
But yeah, dude, I've been trying to think about trying to break into listening to ska music, just because it sounds really interesting. Can you remind me what kind of hybrid genre it is once more? I
ska is just like reggae, but not. I don't really know how to describe ska. It's kind of, I guess, a more mainstream form of reggae would be a way to put it.
yeah, all right.
I don't really know how to express ska. I'm not the biggest ska fan. I have not delved too deeply into it, but you
I
know,
have heard you mention it on a couple occasions, though. I mean,
yeah.
generally, I think you're my one friend. Well, you're one of my one friend that I think appreciates a very wide array of music, at least just from what I know.
Ah, thank
Um,
you.
so, no villainous, that was an insult.
Oh, I take great offense, Jay.
I hope you do. But Vilnius is generally the kind of person that is glad to introduce me to his music, and I feel like I learn a lot about all sorts of like different genres that I never would have known existed. So
Hmm.
that's always kind of interesting for me.
I kind of get the same sort of thing from you. You listen to a lot of things that I
I
would
listen to
never
a
think to
weird
listen to.
arrangement of music.
Yeah.
So I was trying to rec someone 5 songs today, just a whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I recommended her this song from last summer by Olivia Holt, who you may know as like a Disney actress from like this show called I Didn't Do It, which is just
I think I
so
may
strange.
have some idea of who this is.
She's the twin sister, the blonde twin sister.
I think I know.
Yeah, so I was looking back at it, I was like, this was like last August, and I was like, pop sucks because it's popular, that kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing. And I heard
Yeah.
that song, I was like, whoa, that's a bop. And then since then, all of a sudden, dude, like I said, a quarter of my playlist when I checked, like a few weeks ago on the pod, was like stuff from TikTok and stuff that's like pop music or like more low key rap music, I think.
Hmm.
And I thought it was funny that you brought up what you listen to sleep, sort of, because I do the same thing with this playlist of songs that just like these rap songs,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like almost every night, and they've now become like some of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
But
I know
I
that's a
think that's
big
kind of funny
thing, like
because
making mood playlists, like playlists for certain, going to bed or like when you're happy playlist types of things. But I just have this one massive playlist that's just every song I like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've listened to a little bit of it before. It's kind
Yeah.
of cool, just the amount of stuff you've conglomerate. Like it's like a big conglomeration.
Yeah.
But for me, like I have like that deep in thought verse, like slash like sad ish playlist
Mhm.
that was kind of from like last fall, and obviously I love all the songs on it, but now it has absolutely no meaning to me at all. So I
Yeah.
don't really have that anymore. I just really have the sleeping playlist now,
Mhm. Mhm.
which is pretty great. And sometimes I listen to it and get tired, which is kind of an issue because I shouldn't playlists shouldn't generally give you narcolepsy. I know. Well, actually,
Like a
uh,
Pavlov's dogs kind of thing. Pavlov's dogs.
yeah, exactly. If you turn Sailor Moon by Lil Booty Call on for Pavlov's dogs, they will fall asleep.
What song?
It's called Sailor Moon by a guy called Lil Booty Call, but it is probably one of my all-time favorite songs.
I will have to
For
mark that down.
Yeah, it's like a very strange song, I guess. It's not at all something that would be in your general wheelhouse, but
Yeah?
perhaps you'll appreciate it for that. I think it's quite a good song. It's a rap song, I guess, sort of.
I will. I'll give it a
I don't
listen.
know. It's like sort of a rap song. I don't really hard to describe, but But yeah. So I'll definitely give that album a try. Just repeat the name for me for a sec.
It is Fluent in Stroll by Big D and the
All right.
Kids Table.
That's a slightly disturbing name.
The name comes from the singer, I believe, in high school. His friend said, "Hey, you should name your band Big D and the Kids Table," as a joke. And then he went, "Okay."
And just like he just like did it, no problems at all. Um,
Yeah.
but hey, if they're churning out decent, like good sleepy time music, as my playlist is called, sleepy time, um,
Yeah. I would say,
then
I don't know. The rest of their music doesn't really fall into that kind of theme of music that puts me to sleep. One of their early albums, I forget the name of it, is a very upbeat, very energetic album, and one of their more recent ones, Stomp, was of a similar nature.
yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, that's pretty cool. And the upbeat stuff, I always like upbeat stuff. But I
Hmm.
do appreciate when an album has a wide mix of upbeat and stuff, which of upbeat and maybe a little bit somber, maybe just a little slow.
Yeah.
Um, like a Hers album, right? Like I wrecked what was it? Invitation to Hers. Like this was probably episode. Was that episode 2?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and I recommended 20 something, which is all basically just jazz standards. None of Jamie Cullum's like slowest songs are on 20 something. So that's generally a pretty like
Hmm.
flat out like jazzy album in general. But I
Yeah.
find with some artists like Jamie Cullum, he has like these albums that are focused like very somber and some that are very like, you know, just jumpy. And I really do appreciate like a mixture where you can pick from one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's definitely why I enjoy uh the album that I'm recommending this week. Segue much Vilnius. Um which is like a super super mainstream album, but damn it, I love it. Um, it is Divide Deluxe Edition. I don't know if
Ed
that adds any
Sheeran?
songs or not. Yeah, by Ed Sheeran. Um, this is like straight up. It's one of my favorite. I don't listen to. I'm sure I've said this on both of the podcasts where we wrecked albums already. But oftentimes I find that I have a few albums that leave a lasting impact on me, especially from when I was young, like Jamie Cullum's 20 something, like We're in Love by Harry Connick Jr., stuff like that. And
Hmm.
then sometimes I actually find a full album that I see myself listening to and enjoying every song. Um, I'd never listened to this album. Castle on the Hill was one of my favorite pop songs when it came out in 2017. Like, it was one of those songs, like A History by Olivia Holt, where I was like, oh man, this is great, right? I never
Yeah.
listened to the album though. Last October, I was out at an event, um, had to help someone get home, and I took an Uber back to my house, and real nice guy, he was showing me this album. He was like, I really love Ed Sheeran. I was like, oh yeah, I know him. I just haven't listened to, a ton. And he like played me a few of the songs on this album. I was like, whoa, this is nuts. This is so good. And so I added a couple songs. I'm like, you know what? Let's take the whole album. And
Hmm.
so it's a great album. Obviously, like super super duper mainstream. This was like a huge album. I'm sure this guy. I'm sure he won like 14 trillion awards for it or something. Just because it's genuinely a good album. Um, and now obviously I'm going to take a stupid break to figure out, because I kind of want to know if he actually won a lot of awards for this, because it deserves it. Yeah. Okay. So look at this. So this album reached number one in like a multitude of countries. Number four on the U.S. billboards. I mean, and then it was still chart topping in like Australia. It still topped the charts in 2018 at number two, and in number five on the U.S. Billboard 200, and still
Yeah.
number 31 on the Billboard 200 in 2019.
That's pretty impressive.
Um, that's insane. On the decade end charts, it's number 3 on the Billboard 200. Number 4 on Australian and UK albums. I mean, this album is huge. It's humongous. It had 7.4 million sales, but I think it still is able to be appreciated. My personal recommendations are Castle on the Hill. Um, like I said before, that was one of my favorite kind of poppy songs that I'd heard in a long time. Um, Dive is fantastic, actually. That's a great song. I'm trying to think of what genre to compare it to. It uses a very interesting riff and electric guitar solo. Um, Galway Girl is good, but What Do I Know is easily my favorite song on the album, because of the way the chorus is done, especially the non-vocal parts of the chorus with his humming
Yeah.
and such. It just feels so
Mm.
powerful to me. Yes, he goes like this, and that was the whole thing,
Mm-mm.
and that's generally how I like to listen to my music. And also, BBIBA is great as well. Those are some of my favorites off the album, and yeah, that's about it.
That's nice. That's nice. I've never given Ed Sheeran much of a shot, but with your recommendation, perhaps I will delve more into his music. The only non, like, massive hit of his that I have ever heard is New Man, which I believe is off that album.
Yes, that is also a decent song.
Yeah, I don't remember how it goes, but I remember I liked it a bit.
I'd say it goes kind of like, it's kind of Ed Sheeran-y, you know. Um,
Standard Ed Sheeran style.
so now that I'm looking at it, the deluxe edition has Barcelona, BBIBA, Nancy Mulligan, and Save Myself. The former three are three of my favorites on the album. Save Myself is probably one of the songs on here that I'm least familiar with. Um, Mostly because I believe it's a very slow song from what I remember. But it rings in at 59 minutes and 27 seconds, like super long, but it's great. Anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty long.
By the way, so his album tour started on March 16th,
Mm-hmm.
2017. Can you guess when it ended?
Uh, hmm.
Or how many shows there were?
Okay, how many shows? Let's go 35.
All right, then when do you think it ended?
When did it end? I don't know, whenever 35. Now, let's go about a year from then. A year.
So there were 260 shows.
260 for one
Yes, and
album?
it's for one album, and it ended on August 26, 2019.
Wow.
This guy went everywhere. There was the first leg. Oh, I mean, they were sort of broken up. First leg was Europe from March 16th to May 3rd. Second leg was Latin America, May 13th to June 14th. And then two more in Europe and at London and Pilton. And then he went
Yeah.
to North America from June 29th all the way to October 7th. Dude, that's nuts.
That is
But
pretty insane.
So he came to Philly. He played in Philly for 3 nights over this entire tour. That's crazy. He did cancel some tour. Oh, he had a bike accident and fractured his arm. He was out of order for 5 shows, I guess. Ouch. But that's crazy though. So yeah, kudos to him for doing it for that long. That's nutty.
Yeah, that's insanely long.
All right, man. I guess that was all I had to say about
Yeah, shall
about
we
that then.
move on to YouTube channels?
Yeah, let's do so. Vilnius, you want to start us off? Like zoinks.
Like Zoinks? What?
I'm Shaggy. Like
Shaggy.
zoinks.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh. Rorge. All right, go on.
So today I will be recommending the YouTube channel Germane, which is probably pronounced differently. Which is a Latvian YouTube channel focused on making, I guess, educational content about Latvia in their series, The Irregular Latvian Lesson. While I am not the biggest fan of this channel, I think it does make fairly interesting content, often focusing on a specific piece of Latvian culture, whether it be the swamps or sort of Latvian stubbornness, or different quirks of the language and the like, in ways that are fairly successful in grabbing your attention and teaching you the Latvian language without, kind of just being a standard boring lesson. I don't watch every video uploaded to the channel because I'm not currently trying to learn Latvian, but I don't know, I find it nice that someone's out there trying to teach the world about Latvian culture, Latvian history, the Latvian language, It's just nice to see.
It is definitely nice to see when somebody shows an interest in your culture.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
You got any specific video recommendations?
The swamp one. That's
Well,
probably the
yes, you
best one
did.
I've seen. Oh, she recently uploaded a Kwokle cover of. Let me see the song. Uh, Jay, if you don't know what a Kwokle is, it's a traditional Latvian instrument. She recently uploaded a Kwokle cover of Some Say by Nia, which is that one pop song that I never knew the name of, but had heard a million times. That was really cool. Although, a bit of a variation from the normal stuff on the channel.
I cannot say that I know that song.
You definitely know it, Jay.
Oh, this song.
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't heard that a lot, but I do know that. I do know that song. Is she like a Latvian grandmother or something? Because that would be kind of funny.
Nah, she's like 20, I think.
Oh, okay. That is something extra to appreciate. That she is like, she's not that much older than us, but she's already interested enough in her culture to want to teach people on the internet about it. Especially, dude, I feel like we could go on the street right now and ask people where Latvia is, and they wouldn't know it was a country, right?
Yeah.
So it is kind of nice to know that somebody is like sticking up for their own culture in that way. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of cool to see.
Yeah. Makes me
Because like
happy.
obviously everybody knows what India, or I hope everybody knows what India is. I mean, jeez. But you see those videos that are like, okay, this guy asked how many stars are on the American flag. And the woman goes, "Well, there were 13 original colonies, and now there are and now there are 50 states. So 13 minus 50, so there must be 47 stars on the U.S. flag." I
I've
mean,
not seen that
dude,
video.
it was in one of those comps that I made.
Oh, one of those
Uh,
meme compilations you used to make. I'll have to go search for that.
yeah, I'll send it to you. So stupid. I mean, I watched that video for the first time, and I just died inside.
Should we link your meme compilations this episode?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. They're all just unlisted in my YouTube channel, on my my personal
Oh,
YouTube channel. So they're kind of bad too. So
yeah. I assume they haven't aged well past
no,
3 years.
given that it's been since November 2018, so it's been a minute.
Oh, I thought it was a bit longer than that.
No, it was November 2018. The last one I made was January 2019, I think. Was January 2018 the start of Toby's channel, or was that January 2019?
It was January 2018, I believe.
I was gonna say, I was gonna make a thing, and I was gonna say like, I ended, and with my blood, the OG Dad Master rose from the ashes. Or wait, I don't know what I just said about blood and ashes. I don't
Rose
know what
from
I
the
just said.
ashes. The ashes of Jay's career.
From the unlisted YouTube ashes of my career. But yeah, I made those just for my friends, and then they were all, and then Eric gave me lots of positive reinforcement, and they were, I mean, looking back at them, they're not that great.
Go, Eric.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Thanks, Custom Ink.
Why is Eric Custom Ink?
No, I don't know. So I just think that ad is so funny, like the whole thanks Custom Ink thing. I've always thought that was so
Oh.
funny, and I've always just been sad that I feel like not enough people get the reference when I say
I don't
that.
think I've seen a Custom Ink ad in like 5 years, so I would not be one to get that.
It has been a long time. What was their logo? Was it like a little squid? I don't even
Yeah,
know
it's
what
a
that
little
was.
squid
Dude.
man.
Squid man. I'm a scat man. Call back, baby.
Call back, but
Anyway.
that was a pre-recording thing.
Oh, was it? Well, you're gonna have to leave that in now, Vilnius. You have no choice. My big old recommendation is somebody that I found while he was at 4,000 subs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did my computer just stop working? All right. He was at 4,000 subs like a month ago. And I looked at his video and I was like, wait, this guy's like too good to be at 4,000 subs, right? Like, this guy can't be only at 4,000. He's now at 105,000 subs. And his name
Very
is Sunny
fast growing.
V2. His name is Sunny V2. Listen, this guy's channel is so good. It is so good. He makes videos, or some of his main series is videos about the downfall of YouTubers or the rise of YouTubers. So right now he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 downfall videos and 2 rise videos. So he did downfall videos of people like Only Use Me Blade, Shoe Nice, stuff about Machinima, right? But at the same time, he talked about a lot of people that were kind of near and dear to my heart, especially like the old Minecraft YouTubers, specifically Stampy and Eyeball Squid.
Oh,
And then also
he's
he
on the
talked about
downtrend.
Status.
I didn't know that. Eyeball
Dude,
squid.
listen, man. Like, for whatever reason, right? Which is funny, given that generally Minecraft YouTubers, at least I know, especially like when we were in 8th grade, were thought to be like this like very childish thing. But in 8th grade was when I really got into this, because the summer before 8th grade was kind of when I discovered YouTube. I was never on the internet on my phone or anything until the summer before 8th grade, and I was like, oh my god, there's stuff here. And I got addicted to watching iBallistic Squid, and I think it was called Race to the Moon. it was like, oh god, dude, watching that series is one of the most like nostalgic things ever for me. Thinking about watching that series, and I just remember my best friend at the time. He was laughing at me. He was like, "Dude, there's no way." I was like, "Listen, I'm doing my thing right now, and I'm enjoying this very much. And it is hard to think that just 3 years later, I mean, his views have just gone, dude, completely gone. Stampy stopped making videos for a long time, like stopped making like his Lovely World, like his like original series, and Squid started trying to make Fortnite videos. I remember like probably 2018, 2017, but it was kind of just like all over the place, and he started like a variety content phase, and I was like, man, like everything's falling apart. And I've kind of since grown out of that phase, sadly. But like honestly, Squid was one of like the first people ever from the internet that I generally cared about, like genuinely cared about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been rough to see, like his kind of. Oh, actually, he has 3 Rise videos. Never mind, he has 5 Rise videos.
Quite the miscount.
Well, I just saw it. So 3 of the Rise videos have different thumbnails from the other 2. He talked about Churdleys, who, yes, I have also noticed has had a bizarre rise recently. Oh, and then he also made a video about Penguin Zero or Moist Critical, who I know you like.
Yeah.
I think he's very good. He was. It's Sonny saying he's the wittiest creator rather on YouTube, which is I think is accurate. But regardless,
Perhaps.
I think him talking about these Minecraft YouTubers has been really interesting, and seeing what he was saying about Squid and what Stampy, and I never watched like Sky Does Minecraft or Lion Maker or Elferly. That was far before my time on the internet. I mean, Elferly like left the Lovely World I think in 2015, so that was like long before. But still, like his videos are fantastic. When I first watched him 2 months ago, I was like, how in the world does this guy only have 4,000 subs? I watched his video, I was like, dude, this guy's insane. He makes amazing content, right? So, at the end of the day, like he does these documentary kind of style things. A lot of talk about people like Boogie2988, who is like he's a pretty prolific, content creator. He's got millions of subs, but he's on the downtrend and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I can really appreciate what he's doing here, and I think it's really interesting, and I think he's very, very, very talented. He had his 100,000 subscriber special last week, which I thought was great, where he talked about his journey up to now after like starting with Warcraft videos, I believe, maybe not Warcraft, I can't remember, some MMO. And where he is now is truly impressive, and I just want to give props to him. I've been wanting to talk about this on the podcast for like 4 weeks now, I think, because I was like, we should do another one, but also it's been a little it'd been a little recent since we'd done another YouTuber. So definitely check Sony V2 out. Fantastic
Yeah.
content, like very, very cool. Vilnius, I think you will really like him as well.
Yeah. Seems to be very interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. He does a lot of research, and just they're fantastic. You know, I would Sunny V2 is somebody that I would love to talk to about what he's doing and his inspiration. Um, his downfall of Stampy video
Yeah, that
got
one really blew up.
4.5 million views. Did you watch it?
I have not watched it, but I've seen it recommended to me quite a lot.
Yeah, and
With so many views, I had assumed that he had been a much larger creator than he is.
no, when he released it, he only had just over 5,000 subs. So honestly, props to him, man. And I'd love to talk to him and just get his opinion on some stuff, just like why he does this and his inspiration. He mentions it a little bit in his special, but really cool dude overall. So yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. Yeah, that's kind of cool to track the sort of hierarchy of YouTube, as it changes quite frequently and is,
Yes, it does.
pretty drastically different than the way it used to be.
Yeah, man, for sure. But it's people like this that are really going to make the platform better. People that are making like super original, interesting content. Um, I think maybe in the back of my head, seeing like the background of these downfalls is something that I would want to see. I always would have wanted to see, and now seeing it come to light and him doing research and finding every moment. I never would have known that L for Lee, right? He was accused of doing some bad stuff with an underage girl, sending
Oh,
some lewd photos. He not only destroyed himself, but basically destroyed Stampy and Squid's career too, which is something I just that's crazy, right? That one guy could do that much damage. When he left, Stampy's
wow.
views went down by 70%.
Jeez.
Yeah, and Stampy and Squid always made so much stuff together. I mean, they were a big package for a long time. They both met when Squid was at 2,500 and Stampy was at 1,500 subs. And they rose to where they are, 9 million and 4.5 million roughly. 9 million for Stampy's the former. And they both, after Lee, that severe downfall. It's crazy to think about, but that's what happened. And seeing that come to light has been pretty special for especially as content on the internet goes.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that one out as well. You've provided two very, very interesting recommendations today. I am quite interested in them.
Well, thank you, Vilnius. You as well. I am quite interested to learn about the swamps in Latvia.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to be a Latvian swampologist when I grow up. But,
Are you printing something? Oh, you're playing the piano.
this is a bass guitar, Vilnius.
Oh.
I'm a very talented bass guitarist as well as a swampologist. All right? All right, Vilnius? You better believe it.
Indeed, indeed. I believe it, Jay. I believe it. So, you want to play us out?
Oh, wait, I messed it up already. I will play us off with a wonderful, beautiful 4-riff version of a couple things from the 12. What is it called? 12 something blues? I already forgot. I already messed it up. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Wait, no! Don't even worry about it.
Skibbity beep bop. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-doop.
I'm the scared man. Skibidi ba 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 ba.